Hello, my name is Niels Gran. I'm almost 67 years old and I'm from Denmark. I want to tell you about the way I lost faith in the Lutheran version of Christianity. When I was about 5 years old, my eldest sister asked me every time we had gone to bed about all the sins I had committed that day. And I didn't feel I had committed any sins, but she insisted. And to get rid of her questioning, I made up some sins. For instance, I said I have torn an insect apart, or I had teased my other sister, or I had lied to a friend, or whatever. But they were not true. I just made them up. And then she asked me to beg Jesus for forgiveness, and then we could go to sleep. So I had to rack my brain to find out what sins I had committed. I was brought up in a strict religious Christian environment. My dad was a missionary in Denmark. And when I was 8 years old, I watched a play called Jedermann in German, in Danish and English, the old play about everybody. And the plot was about the devil fighting God to catch human beings and take them to hell, where they had to burn for eternity. And one of the episodes was that the devil came disguised in a sort of green clothing with a long tail, and I was sitting in the front row, and the devil came past me, and I was whipped almost in the face by his long tail, and I was scared because of the almost physical touch of the devil. And I had nightmares about the devil for years afterwards, because we didn't discuss such a play in our family. We just watched it, and you have to be strict religious if you want to avoid going to hell. So this strategy of scaring you with hell and the devil and so on haunted me for years, and I just couldn't imagine a loving God wanting to scare people like that, or kids like that. The play wasn't seen symbolically. It was seen as pure reality. About the same age, when I was 8, I asked my mom, what is eternity? And she told me, oh, it means that it's a sort of time that'll never end. And I was scared by that thought. And I asked her, what are we going to do in a time that'll never end? And she just said, oh, you don't have to worry. God will take care of that. There'll be plenty to do in heaven. My mom also talked a lot about how terrible it would be to end up in hell and suffer there for eternity. In my teenage years, I slowly but steadily drifted away from that sort of Christianity. And in my 20s, I was so fortunate that I had a psychoanalysis, a very skillful psychoanalyst, and in the course of a few years I was liberated from all these misconceptions about Christianity. And I felt, finally I felt free when I was about, I think, 27 years old. And for all those years from my childhood and for more than 20 years I had lived with the fear of eternal suffering in hell. And the anxiety haunted me for all those years. When I was 21 years old, I had been a soldier for 1 year. I was a sergeant, and I volunteered to go to Cyprus to maintain the peace between the Greeks and the Turks there. And before leaving, my mother told me, "Oh, if you haven't given your life to Jesus and you are killed down there, you will go to hell." I was there with the United Nations forces in Cyprus for 6 months. Several times when I was passing the Greek soldiers, they would point at me with their guns just to intimidate me and provoke me, and every time I felt anxious because if they had shot me, I felt I would go to hell.